Alright, do not mind the music in the background, alright? It's to keep me sane during videos like these, alright? Um, okay. We're... First things first, I want to get out of the way. I wish there was a way to test if these worked. So, like, you didn't have to constantly test it against other players, like you had a test dummy to test against. That'd be super, super nice. Anyway, this video is going to be about learning how to do something like this, or turning this into something that can decode malware, or get past malware. Hold on a second, give me a second here. Alright, much better music, much better music. Now we can get to the fun stuff. Right, so we're going to be turning this into something that can, run exploits and get past firewalls. So yeah. Alright, let's get to it. Actually, no, it'd be better just to make an entire new program. Video program. That's how you spell program, right? Yeah. Going insane. V2. Alright. First, we're going to get our context, because the first one was a selector where you had to select your target. Or should I just do a mass scan? I'm going to do a mass scan instead. So yeah, we're going to do a mass scan instead. So instead of context, you would use discovered networks. This will provide a list of all the networks that you have discovered, meaning all these networks, including yours, get scanned and hacked, stolen, whatever we're gonna make this code do. Alright, we're gonna get rid of this real quick. Alright. So, sorry if I'm moving the mic and stuff and you can hear that. I'm just trying to make sure I'm audible, because I have to turn up the volume so loud in order for my voice to come through clearly. I think it may be the mic, because I swear I'm talking normally and audibly, so whatever. Anyway, back to the programming. So all the discovered networks we have will get scanned. We're going to run it through a for each. For each is a very useful thing, because it, makes a list, turns this into a list into something we can actually use. So for each discovered network, we are going to check if it is scanned by using an if statement and a is scanned. So it's going to check if the network is scanned, and we're going to make a little loop. I've heard that the label loop is not good, but I prefer it because it's a lot faster. The more meticulous, or whatever you want to call it, loop would be this one, where you use a merge and an if. Basically, it just runs through the program, and if it's not, it goes back here and does it again. If it's not, it goes back here again. The problem with that, though, is it scans it multiple times, and I just want something fast that'll go immediate so I cannot be traced. And that's going to be the purpose of this. So we're going to continue on the scan here. So we're going to scan every network that we have discovered. We're going to connect that, to get rid of that real quick because we do not need it yet. And so we are going to use the return function now, or I guess I've been using function loosely. I don't really know what a function is at this point, so I'm just gonna do whatever I want. So return scan. Make sure both these are the same name, or it will not work. And then we're going to use a merge at the end. Put this here, put this one here, and we're going to end the program. Before we test it though, I'm going to double check if everything's okay. So for each discovered network, we're going to check if it is scanned, and if it is, it'll end. So we're going to scan for networks. We are going to run video program 2, and it will do nothing. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, we're going to check everything, see if it is all connected. It is in fact all connected, except, no. It is all connected. Oh wait, the end, for each you have to put the end at the end of done here. So that way it runs through all the code several times and then it ends. So does that mean one of these was scanned? I think it scanned our home network. We're gonna try this again. Sorry for all the mistakes. Yeah, there we go. It scanned every single one. Perfect. I did notice a lot of mistakes in the last video, and I could have edited those out, but I wanted to keep those into, like, you know, for the creative process. Like, it's good to review and to know these things, that way that you remember them. Anyway, back to this. So now we've scanned all of them. We can now then hack them. And keep in mind, you do not need to move to a network in order to hack it. So you can hack remotely. What was I doing? I was doing a hack. We're going to copy this same setup, but we need two different things, which be these things here. We're going to get this. Alright. We're going to push this over here. We're going to push this here. We're going to get this. We're going to duplicate this. Put it here. Put this here. In the context of the networks that we have discovered. Put this there. Put that there. Put this here. We're going to duplicate this label. Bring it down here. If false. Boom, boom, boom. All this is assuming that you've watched my previous video. If not, I will still try to explain it to the best of my ability. But that's a lot of tedious work. I say that now, and I'm gonna leave this in, because I don't. Okay. Surely you've seen all the connections, right? I'm going insane here. I feel like I'm stalling, and I feel like I'm taking too long, and people are already clicking off, you know, all that jazz. But you know what? I'm doing this for me and for you. I'm doing it for everyone, I guess. Whatever. Alright, we're going to want to change these names because we don't want this returning all the way over here, just in case, you know, return hack. Again, make sure these are the same name or they will not work. Alright, good. We're going to save that, and then we're going to reset protocol, scan for networks, and run the video program 2. Oh, that has a firewall. Perfect example. That's why we're going to, also sorry if that's so loud, because yeah, I know that is loud. It's loud for me. Anyway, we're going to disconnect that, and we're going to move this whole program down, because we will be using this later, but not now. So we're going to check if it is hacked instead. So if, and then we go down here, has firewall. We're going to check if it has a firewall. If the network has a firewall, we're going to do that. If it is true, we are going to use all of these blocks right here. I place this one here normally. It's going to check the network for the required exploit, and then it's going to search the list of exploits that you have or own, which would be all of these for me. And then it's going to execute the exploit that it found on the network. And we're going to have to do this for devices as well, so stick around for that. If it's true, we're going to run exploit. If not, you know, hallelujah. If false, we're just going to move right to the merge. Merge, I feel, is very important for skipping and making code faster. So yeah, I believe that should work now. So we're going to move this down here, and then we're going to remember to hold shift, hold click, and you can move the entire thing up. Perfect. Save. We're going to use this now, and we're going to do this again. Video program v2. It scanned everything, but did not hack everything. Okay, what happened? Is this not connected? That is not connected. Whoops. Take two. There we go. Perfect. It hacked. And now if we move to it, we have access to devices. We can log in. Perfect. Alright. Now we got that issue addressed. Now we can log in. We're going to log in with the access code we got from the hack to the network. And now we're going to connect to this, and now we've logged in. And now we want to steal, so this is where I would put the move function. I'm not sure if you could place the move function anywhere else. After this, you'll have to find someone more educated, I guess, for that. But this is where I prefer to put it. Anyway, we're going to move to the network, and then we're going to steal everything it has. So we're basically going to copy and paste this, but for devices. So we're going to go here for each device. Boom. We're going to take this little bit of code from, or this little block here. We're going to look for it real quick. Network devices for every device in the network that we have hacked and found and yada yada yada. We are going to do the same thing as up there. It is a lot of this game I am now realizing is a copy and paste situation. I'm gonna do it all the way through. So here we are. So we're going. Our target are now the devices in the network. So yeah, I'm just going to copy and paste. I said I wasn't gonna do this, but it's a lot easier this way. We're going to Control C. Get rid of this real quick. Control V. Bring it down here. Boom, like that. And then we just gotta hook everything up. Basically, it's doing what it did to the network, but for the devices now. I feel like this video is so bad quality because I'm not explaining enough, but I feel like... Oh my goodness, that's so loud, isn't it? I just realized I'm breathing into the mic like a mouth breather. Oh, that's embarrassing, isn't it? I'm gonna keep it in regardless. Okay, so this should work for... We're gonna keep the end up here. We're gonna keep the end up here because we want it to go through every network and not just one network and only its devices. So, yeah. We're gonna save this and hope it runs. If it doesn't run, well, karma for not being careful. Run video program 2. Okay, so it's doing it. Yep. Okay, it's done it. It's doing exactly what we want it to, without issue, and with the same thing. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I did not know that beforehand. Actually, we're probably gonna want to. That's a home network too. I have 2 home networks. That's weird. Anyway, back to this. We're going to make a slight change. We're going to get the return home function, and after it is done doing this, it's going to return home, and it's just simple as that. We're gonna test that real quick to see if it doesn't break anything. Run video program v2. It's gonna hack all the devices, then return home, hopefully. Yep. Perfect. Alright, that shouldn't affect the speed of the program at all. I hope not, at least. We're going to stop the program. Okay, and now we're just gonna steal from everything. It's very copy and paste once you get to knowing everything. We're going to steal from the device now using the access code we got from the hack. Move this down to here so we can actually do it. We're going to log into the device. We're going to check if the device has been stolen from already. Can steal. Condition. Check for the device. If it's true, we're going to steal, and if it's not, it's just going to be voided. True, steal from the device. Alright, and that's pretty much the entire code. Let's run it. We're going to scan for networks, and we're going to run this. Boom. 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 Oh. Oh. Boom. 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 Move home. Yeah, it's instantaneous and it doesn't slow it down when it returns home, so that's good to know. These kind of devices, I'm sure, have firewalls, so that's why we have to have the firewall thing in it. I will be doing a code review to explain the entirety of the code. Hopefully that's a better explanation to what I just did there, because I barely explained it. So, yeah, as long as you saw the connections, everything should be fine, and the code has fully run and worked. Good. That's the entire code. And it should have ended. Yep. Cool. Now for the explanation. Again, this is the end of the video, unless you want to stick around for the explanation of the code, which I really didn't explain it in the video, because, you know, it's pretty much second nature at this point. So thank you for watching. If you're clicking off now, time for the review. So at the start of the code, we check for every discovered network in our network. Not really in our network, but you know what I mean. We check for every one of these, alright, including our network. So for each network that we have discovered, we're going to check if it is scanned. If it is not scanned, we're going to scan it until it is. And then we're going to move on to the next code, where we check if it has a firewall. This is very important, or the code will break. So for the firewall, it's going to check the network for a certain firewall. And if it has a firewall, it's going to run the exploit that you currently own against it. And then it's going to move on to the merge and go down here. If it doesn't have a firewall, it'll simply go to the merge and move on to the next line of code. That's why I find the label and merge function with the returns so fast, because if it already has this, it'll just go straight here, onto the next line, onto the next line, onto the next line. That's why I find it fast. Anyway, after it is hacked or not, or bypassed the firewall, or hasn't bypassed the firewall, it's going to move down to here, where it will hack the network and then log in and then move to that network, so it can access the devices on the network. For each, now we're going to go back up here, for each network that we've done everything to, we're going to go move to the network, and now we're going to look at the network devices that we're currently on. Then we're going to do the exact same thing we did to the network to the devices. We're going to check if it is scanned. If it is not scanned, we'll scan it till it is scanned. Then we're going to move on to if it has a firewall. If it has a firewall, we're going to bypass the firewall with our pre-bought bypasses from the dark market. I have all of them owned. So after it is done running the exploit, it'll crack the firewall, and we'll move on to the next line of code, where we'll check if it is hacked. If it's not hacked, it'll hack it, and it'll keep hacking it until it is hacked. And then move on to the login and the eventual steal. It's going to check if it is steal first to, you know, make things faster. Anyway, that is the review. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. I really left out a lot of details that I probably should have mentioned earlier. Maybe I'll add them in editing. But that is pretty much it for a mass, like, stealer almost. There are a lot more things you can do with this kind of code. So yeah, that's pretty much it. How many times am I gonna say that's pretty much it? That's like 1, 2, 3, 4 times now, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching. I tried to explain it to the best of my ability. I think I did a lot better job explaining it in my previous video. Enough of stalling. That's it. Thank you.